At this time, I want to invite Keisha Davis, our Director of Partnership and Capacity Building here at Deaconess, to come and to share an announcement of our 2020 policy campaign partners, and maybe even invite those partners to share if they would like.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So I'll offer that the remarks that have been shared thus far has stirred my inspiration and my hopefulness for all of the great work that is happening in our community, and most notably with our partners who will be selected for the 2020 policy campaign. And so with that, as I transition to the next slide, I want to call forth Kayla Reed with Action St. Louis and Richard Von Glan with Missouri Jobs with Justice. So we're really excited to partner with them. Their collaboration to achieve Medicaid expansion and democracy reform certainly aligns with the remarks that have been shared here today. There is obviously a small window to make this important work happen, and the goal of the project is certainly to make sure that our democracy is more inclusive and representative of our entire community. And so we wanted to give an opportunity for them to both give remarks for their collaboration and how they hope to change the community on behalf of all of our young people.
Good morning. My name is Kayla Reed. I'm the Director of Action St. Louis, and super excited to be here and grateful for the opportunity to continue and deepen our relationship with Jobs with Justice, and to continue to build on the work that we've been doing for the last few years. Action St. Louis runs a year-round civic engagement program. It's called Woke Voter STL. We do everything from registering to vote, to voter guides, to we knock on doors. We knock on lots of doors, and we plan to expand that over the next 12 months. We believe that we can have a lot of conversations in rooms like this, but the people who are closest to the problem are often not invited or don't have access to join us in these times. And so we'll be spending the next year really having these conversations on the doors, over the phones, convening people to discuss the importance of Medicaid expansion and as it pertains to Black communities and democracy reform. So someone mentioned a potential ballot initiative that talks about automatic voter registration and all these things, and we are hopeful. It's been a long, that's another conversation. It's been a long 2 months for those of us who know our dear, it's just been a long 2 months. And so we're really hopeful that 2020 will bear that fruit, and we'll be able to have strong ballot initiatives in November of 2020. And what I will say is, because of the political climate of this state, referendums are all too important. And so not only is this an opportunity for me to say thank you as an organizer, it's an opportunity for me to invite you to join us in the work, because receiving a grant isn't all the resources that we need to get this done. We need people to show up when they can, to help us collect the signatures, to help us talk to people on the doors, to help us get it across the line, so that we can move on to bigger and better things in 2022.
That's right. Thank you, and thank you to the Deaconess Foundation for the support and the invitation to be here. A couple years ago, Jobs with Justice maybe came to the realization that I think Joe had mentioned, is that we had a problem that both our economy and our democracy weren't working for people. And so I think Joe mentioned, the feeling that our democracy is not producing the results that people need, whether it's living wages, whether it's healthcare, whether it's adequately funded education. It just hasn't been working for people. But at the same time, we need people to invest more, not less, in that democracy. And so that's a really tricky situation of how do you convince people that you need to invest more in a process that isn't producing for them. And I think Kayla mentioned, the ballot initiative process is a critically important tool, I think, in Missouri, because it allows the community to dictate a little bit of what is it that we need and how are we going to go get it. I was remarking to someone during our triad about how it's wonderful to know that there's a process where the 200 votes in here are equal to the 200 votes that maybe sit in the legislature and often get to determine what resources and actions our community receive. So we are very excited to be able to partner with groups like Action St. Louis. In 2018, I think we saw over 7,000 volunteer hours, people coming in, giving us their time, sometimes their money, going out on Saturday mornings, taking it to church on Sunday, to their union hall on Wednesday, and having the important conversations about how do we have an economy and democracy that work better for Missouri. And I think this year, what we're going to be working on is the effort to expand Medicaid and to improve our democracy, hopefully through a system of modernizing our elections, as the Secretary of State had mentioned. So we really appreciate the support of the Deaconess and the partnership of Action STL and of everybody in this room. If you haven't signed the petition to expand Medicaid yet, talk to me. Right over here, they've got it. You can probably do that before you leave. And if you want to pick up any sheets because you're a veteran at doing this and go take them with you, come find me. You got a big family coming to town for Thanksgiving and they're all from Missouri. That's a wonderful opportunity. So thank you.
Thank you both. And I don't know about your family traditions, but in my family traditions, if you are ready, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, right? So we have petitions for you guys to sign if you haven't already done so. We really appreciate you taking the opportunity to do so. And then our other call to action is really in support of our partners, Missouri's Job with Justice and Action St. Louis. We encourage you to go to your respective social media feeds, in addition to the ones we talked about earlier, hashtag Healthy Democracy, hashtag Just for Kids, and hashtag Mo Medicaid, in articulating that you support both of these wonderful organizations in calling for the expansion of Medicaid within the state in 2020. So before you leave today, we ask that you pull out your phones. I see one phone pulled out, Reverend Dr. Wilson, I appreciate you. I'd like to see some other phones pulled out. Come on. All right, I see another. Can I get another? Can I get another? Thank you. Now, any other time we need you to not have your phones out, and you do, we're asking for you to actually take that action right now, and get some momentum in our community around Medicaid expansion. And so thank you again for the work that you guys will be doing, and we're looking forward to supporting you over the course of the next year. And with that being said, I think I'm going to turn it over to the man with the phone.
So I don't type, my thumbs aren't that fast, and I don't have the oldest thumbs in the room, so I'm going to go back real fast. To make sure that people can do this while we're here together. Some of you are smart enough to have just even taken a picture of this thing. I'm trying to post the picture I took of John and, Richard and Kayla, so I don't have all my hashtags together. But I know y'all are faster than me. Who's already tweeted this out? Y'all haven't tweeted this out yet? Oh, good, then I don't feel bad. Just for the record, we're glad to make this investment. I'm done with my tweet. Good. So if you really haven't found yours yet, you can retweet mine. Is that okay? All right, good deal. So we're really excited to make this investment. We were excited when we opened up this public policy grant opportunity to get activity that we'll be able to support in different ways at different levels. From folks who are doing work around the Board of Freeholders, folks who are doing work around early child education in our community, folks who are advancing an agenda around justice, around criminal justice in the local community. So we'll be supporting that work, but this $100,000 grant for mobilization will go to Action St. Louis and Missouri Jobs with Justice, who are friends to us that we're able to support in other ways. So we're really excited about the work that is yet becoming. And we really do encourage you, if you've not signed the petition yet, to do so today to take that critical action. Finally, I just want to say, we talked about these various parts and aspects of democracy. We will gather again on December 9th with one of the really foremost leaders in faith-related advocacy and faith-inspired social action, the Reverend Jim Wallace of Sojourners, who will join us in similar form on Monday, December 9th. And there are already about as many people as are still left in this room are already registered for that conversation. So we encourage you, if you've not already, to do that today. There is a laptop somewhere, probably near the front, yes, on the reception desk where you came in, where you can go ahead and register to be a part of that conversation. We encourage you to be there. At that time, we'll be announcing our partners for what we call the Reverend Buck Jones Memorial Grant for faith-related action. He is one of the leaders of the 1969 rent strike in St. Louis that came to change federal legislation around affordable housing across the United States. And he's a St. Louis-based leader. And so we'll honor him with a grant announcement at that time, and we encourage you to be with us as well. If there's nothing else that I'm missing, I'm looking at the staff team who sent me all kind of notes and text to make sure I didn't miss other stuff today. Then I want to, Cassell, you got something that I'm missing?
Yes, I want to mention as far as the important of the voter registration, nobody touched on the push the census, make sure they apply for the census.
Great point. Great point. See? What Cassell said was as much as we talk about the importance of voter registration, one of the critical points we need to push for 2020 as well is the census. And we're really excited. We have made communication around some of this stuff? Okay, so people know. Okay, all right. So I ain't trying to make no news like that, right? So we're really excited. So we were last night at dinner, one of our partners, Missouri Foundation for Health, Dr. Bob Hughes, have led a funder collaborative, a regional collaborative around access to the census for underserved populations and communities, and really focusing in to provide supports. So we were pleased to participate and collaboratively to invest in a pooled fund for local philanthropy to find partners who are doing work to make sure people are educated about the census, that people engage the census, because it has so much impact on resources that come back to our community. And so as of last Friday, announcements and investments were made and settled into local organizations. And maybe I'll ask Keisha to talk a little bit about, so Keisha's our point person on that initiative, to talk about where that process is and who some of the partners are engaged in that work that you can also support to advance democracy.
Thank you, Starsky. So yes, myself, in addition to a few other partners, Cassandra Kaufman with Mental Health Board of St. Louis, Deb Dubin with Gateway Center for Giving also participated in the conversation. We allocated just close to $500,000 that will brought together from 10 to 11 funders in the community to support getting the word out on behalf of the 2020 census. So thank you for bringing that up, Cassell. Some of those partners include Metropolitan Congregations United. It includes the Action St. Louis. It includes, I'm trying to think who else might I be missing. I'm looking to my peers around the table. I talked to OBS, Organization for Black Struggle, is another organization that received dollars. Really, Girls Inc., another organization connecting to parents of the young ladies who are participating in the after-school program. And so really trying to figure out who are those partners that are rooted in community that can get the word out, because as we all know, some folks might be trepidatious about participating in the census. And we wanted to engage with trusted partners who folks would believe and understand, and knowing that it's important to participate in the process so that we don't have any upheaval as we experienced in the 2010 census process. So we're really pleased to have participated and look forward to continuing to engage with our partners in that work over the course of the next 9 months.
Good deal. Again, our thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you soon. We pray that between now and the next time we see you, you have the great opportunity to spend time with your own families, celebrating the gifts that I'm a preacher, the gifts that God has given us, that we have the opportunity to engage and share with others. Thank you very much for your time. Look forward to seeing you again soon.